Ladies, gentlemen, ghouls, ghosts, vampires, werewolves, whatever you may be, we are live for the second night in a row on Myth Brigade. It's my pleasure to present to you our fearless leader, our warped, twisted storyteller, our celebrator of Brent's birth, Byron Wingate. Take us away, man. Let's do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fall of London here on Myth Brigade and a chronicle for Vampire the Masquerade World of Darkness version 5 by Paradox Interactive and, of course, Renegade Game Studios. The new version is out now. Just came out. We just got them in at the game shop. So if you want to see the updated version, I don't know if there's anything new in it.
Is it just updated to where we kill all the bad guys and get experience points? Is that the whole last half is where we...
That was on some of these pages, but I ripped those out. So I have to improvise those parts of the campaign, unfortunately. But yeah, welcome. We're having an absolute freaking blast playing Vampire the Masquerade, and I like it so much I play it twice. Like twice like 4 times a month I'm in this game system. So I am really digging the World of Darkness, and I think our players are too so far, what we've discussed and how we're liking it. We're starting to get shall we say, sink our fangs deep into the system and draw some blood out, I mean, we're getting some pretty visceral and exciting combat scenes and stuff like that. So, we're not going to mess around tonight. We're going to try to get some stuff done. So let's go around the horn real quick. Lady Catherine, the wonderful Chantel Kapustik, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to... sorry to say something bad. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go today?
Right. Yeah. Sweet.
And, of course, Mr. Brent Adams, Dr. Henry Van Dreer.
Well, I think that things are really going to heat up this evening.
You think?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because we got the first artifact we need, and we are on the trail of the second. And then something will happen when we get all of them. I don't know.
It'll be like Voltron, they'll all come together.
Yeah, like we combine them together. Mithras pops out of the ground, and we're good.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep. Yeah,
and he will reward us handsomely.
Yeah, something like that. All right. And of course, Alice Mockingdale, wonderful Tara Roy.
Good evening.
Always. How are you doing today?
I am well, running around like crazy, but I'm okay. I made it eventually.
Did you get your Hound of Hell is all fed now?
Yes. Well, he's in the process.
He's a beast. Okay.
He is a beast.
I saw you had well, no, I'm not going to bring it up on stream. You were doing a new recipe for eggs or something.
I had an accident. Hold on. I'll bring that up. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I did. Why not?
So this is what happened.
Is that a murder scene? What could you explain what happened? Because
is that like a full 18 pack? Or...
That is a full. 17 of them broke.
But you had the one. It's fine. You just had the
baby chickens died.
17 baby chickens. It was an
execution.
An execution.
Scattered around the floor.
I loaded the rear of the car poorly, and when I opened the hatch, they had slipped and just fell splat. That's exactly how I found them.
I did that with a 4-pack of like some really cool root beer I went at once. That was in glass.
Oh my god! It was like this black cherry vanilla root beer. He was all excited about it.
So excited for it. Yeah, one of the days we drove up to Youngstown, it was all over the place. And
I was saying something. I was like, "Hey, let me get back there. It sounds like it slid." And I'm like, "It sounds like it slid." And you crash. You just open the trunk.
Delicious. All right.
Heart wrenching.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, you got it all cleaned up though. You got it all. Wasn't that bad?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There isn't like a half dozen egg yolks frozen to my sidewalk or anything.
Nice.
They were freezing really quickly. Like I grabbed paper towels and got some stuff up, and
Oh, yeah.
I thought it wiped out, but it was freezing too fast. And I'm like, well, that's okay. You know, in like half an hour, I'll come out and I'll just use a spatula or the ice scraper to scrape them up. But when I came out, now, granted, the wind chill it was -7 at the time. They are like a rock. I can't budge them. So, theoretically, if this had happened,
Nice. All right.
Some raccoons can have really nice hair though later on.
Yeah,
right?
Tyler Wingate, Aquila, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I just had a fantastic nap. I'm feeling good.
Naps are always good. Always good time for a
Great day for a nap.
for sure. All right, and last but not least, our fearless tech wizard, who without him we could not do this. 'Cause Mr.
Dude,
Jason.
So we finally did our horror shorts thing last night. Tara was there. She's living proof that we got through it. It was a good time. And I did 2 games in a week. I don't know. Who are we? You know?
I don't know, but I have a complaint.
Already?
Wow.
I'd like to
All
use this
right.
forum to voice my complaint.
Sure. Why
Jason?
not? What? What did I do?
I heard your voice in my sleep. That voice that you were doing at the end of the game last night.
Mother of child, shut your mouth. This is vampire.
What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. It was the gas. I had Indian food. I was all...
You can do that. It's very curry-ish.
Yeah, exactly.
Very curry.
Sorry, Tara. Hey, there's something that will, hopefully before we play again, that will arrive at your doorstep.
Holy crap.
So, yeah, no, it's all good. Byron, I'm
nuts.
stoked to be here. You know what I'm mainly stoked about? Byron?
What's that?
Brent's
what's that?
birthday. Brent's birthday.
Yeah, Brent's birthday.
Brent's-
Yeah, that's what we heard.
Yeah,
30 days.
he was born in everything. He's here, came out, was playing games with us. It's crazy.
I mean, best way to spend a birthday.
Yeah, I think people, you guys should tell us what Brent should have gotten for his birthday if money was no object. Like down in the chat or whatever in the stream.
Oh my God, this
thing.
is...
You guys should post like what Brent should have gotten for his birthday if he was like Elon Musk or something and like had all the money in the world. What do you think Brent would like?
Please do in the comments
Please
below.
do. Maybe we'll select our best one and send him like an autographed
Yeah,
picture of Brent.
that's what we'll spend. That's what we'll
Like,
spend this year's revenue
Cheetos
on.
or something.
One
An autographed
full
picture of Brent
One
eating Cheetos.
full set of human teeth.
Yeah, Brent's gonna be like, I mean, I love a new spleen, but gross.
Oh, it's the years of cow tongue. Or
All right, guys. So last time we played, we were kind of sorting out some hunting ground situations, and so each one of you kind of has your own predator type. And as you've been awake and out of torpor for the last, what, 4 or 5 days, a week now, whatever it is.
Been a long weekend.
Long weekend, yeah. So that draw, that pull, is beginning to kind of settle itself over your demeanors. And just grabbing the, zippy bag and chugging it down just isn't quite doing it for you anymore. Finding that rat in the cellar or in the subway tunnel and sucking it dry is just not really doing it. So we talked about your different predator types and so forth. And so we're going to say that like 2 days has passed since you were last talking and so forth. And as you begin to wake up, you find that apparently you begin to kind of move or feed outside of your typical timing. And you realize that at some point last night, you must have stepped out separately to find yourself a little snack somewhere in London. And so we're going to start with Dr. Henry. Dr. Henry, you awaken, shaking off the webs of like fog and stuff that is keeping you from thinking straight. Your back is a little twisted, a little different than normal. You find yourself in a old, run-down flat, holes in the wall, a green hunter, maybe shade at some point. It's wallpaper that is peeled back, exposing some kind of sheetrock or old wooden beams in the walls. The smell of musty human feces and such kind of overwhelms you a little bit as you right yourself. And you find yourself sitting in an old kind of recliner, like the arms well worn, almost to the point it was some sort of velour at some point, but now it's just been worn smooth with like the oils of skin and almost like a leathery upholstery. A darkness is in the air. You can kind of make out the room a little bit from the moonlight shining through the window, glinting. You look to your left and you see what looks to be a female, a hoodie kind of wrapped up over her head, kind of laying semi-prone on a old stained mattress. You can smell the maggots and stuff crawling in it. And then another gentleman kind of sitting slumped in a weird position, his head leaned over, a needle sticking from his arm. And then you glance to the right, and that's where you see Jimmy Sleeves, as they called him, the guy you ran into in the alleyway, the guy that was beaten. He's hung upside down, a hook hanging from a beam in the roof. His ankles twisted together with some sort of wire. His arms hanging down, as you would think, gravity pulling his white pasty body, lack of blood, as IVs have been plugged into him in multiple places, his neck, his arms, and is straining into glass bottles all over a table. You look over and you see a rusty kind of stainless table with a variety of instruments. You recognize them. Very, very handy instruments that you've used over the years. Your medical bag open. While you were making a meal here, it looks like maybe you fell asleep. And that's what you wake up into. What do you do?
Stand up, heighten my senses and to see more clearly. And I consider briefly my situation. I mutter to myself, I'm like, you've fallen far, haven't you? And as I look around at the decay and the lack of austerity in the room, however, I find comfort as I walk over to the jars and go ahead and remove some of the IVs and start packing up my tools. I go ahead and take a sip from sort of an early morning meal, if you will.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've been drinking natural light for a few years and you finally got an old Guinness.
So I say I do savor it as even though it started to go, it's obviously gone cool. It's still far better than that refrigerated swill I was getting in the subway. I go ahead and I take the other bottle and bottle it up and put it into my medical bag along with the rest of my tools. I'll go ahead and untie the body, letting it drop to the floor, but not without a certain amount of respect. After all, his death did provide me with a certain amount of sustenance, and my frustration over not being able to find my preferred hunting grounds, I feel somewhat annoyed at myself that I lost control, killing him. And as I look around, I try to recognize these other people. I don't remember them.
Probably some sort of street urchins. Treacherous of the city that has just wandered itself inside. A drug house, obviously.
Yeah. So it appears that they just passed away from an overdose. As I kind of just take a look at them, and obviously she's been here for quite a while. Maggots.
Yeah. Well, the maggots are in the mattress, not her.
I see. As I pack away my equipment, resolving to wash them and make sure that I sanitize my tools, I pull out my phone and see if I've gotten any calls from my friends.
You have not. Strangely enough. No one has checked up on you, at least at this point.
I'll send out a group text.
Perfect.
We need to talk.
We'll hold that right there and we'll come back to you. All right. And let's go over to Aquila. Aquila, you have been kind of standoffish, maybe not really involved in the goings on of things, feeling like you're out of place, like not really has really been a surrounding of academics, things you've been looking for. You kind of find yourself in the subway, in a station that's shut down, but still working, but just closed for the evening. You're walking dressed in fine slacks and a very nice vest, shirt. Your hair slicked back, your gold headband kind of hidden underneath your thick, slick hair in the front. Your dress shoes click as you walk across the stone floor of the subway station. It echoes against the white tile on the walls. You can barely see, but there's a little light down here. The electricity is, well, functional, but they do not turn all the lights on when the station's shut down. You feel something rub up against your leg. It's kind of forceful, but then circles around. You look down to see a gray cat. It looks up at you. It blinks its shiny green eyes. And you feel it knows you somehow. You know it, you think. Maybe. It kind of brushes around your leg and then wanders off down towards the subway, down towards the rails that drop over the edge. In this darkness, it looks like it drops into the abyss. But with your eyes, you know it's only a few feet down to grapple.
I'll follow the cat.
You wander after it. It kind of walks along a small ledge, not big enough for you, but you drop down to the tracks. The smell of old rust and so forth, and the train rails kind of comes over your senses a little bit as you kick the rocks a bit. Your dress shoes, you look down, and they're going to be kind of scratched up from walking in these rocks, but worth it. You hear some sort of mumbling, something up ahead. As you walk up forward, on the wall, you see something weird painted. Looks like it's painted in some kind of gold paint, splashed around with maybe an old brush. Not an artist mark, but a mark of passage, of ownership. It's a disc. Looks like a sun disc, like you would expect over the head of a Egyptian god, maybe in costume, but just slathered on a wall, almost nondescript, like it was almost discarded there.
Just kind of stand there for a moment and ponder at it.
You find, look at here, you hear that mumbling up ahead.
I'll activate my heightened senses and head that way.
Okay. You can hear it's a conversation.
Okay.
A conversation of three men, calm, speaking about venturing further into the darkness and their apprehension to do so, as to what they might find in the depths. The one talks as if he's tried but can't bring himself to penetrate further. As you get closer, you can see them kind of in a small chamber off to one side. They have a variety of old books stacked on a table, and a statue of a cat. Or is it a statue? Wait. It looks just like the cat that you were following. But it's a statue standing on a ledge just inside the room. What do you do?
So they're like standing in like a hallway.
It's like a room.
And then there's in that room is like the statue and stuff like that.
Yeah, and those three individuals. And a stack of books they're kind of like talking about. One guy's wearing like a tweed jacket, glasses. They have a small oil lamp kind of on a side table. The other two are dressed in, one's a polo. He's got a light windbreaker jacket over top of it. And the other one wears a kind of a heavier coat with a hood, but it's not pulled up.
I'll approach.
They turn to look at you as they hear your dress shoes kind of scrambling up the steps. At first, the look of horror is on their face as they step back a bit, and then the one wearing the tweed jacket kind of straightens his glasses. He takes them off, he looks at you, and he says, "I knew it. I knew you would come." And he kneels down and holds his hands up towards you. He says, "Sekhmet has sent you out."
He has come, brother, and I'll like help him stand up. Like,
Okay.
I knew I could count on you. I knew one day we would be reunited.
All right, there you go. Now you got your guys in this subway station here in London. And with that, the camera will pan over to both Father Thorn and Alice. The sound of club music, a dark gothic-punk kind of coming over both of you. And the smell of candles and such. Incense. You awaken Father Thorn kind of sitting kind of cockeyed up against a couch. It's got lace dripped over it, a black lace. The room is adorned with demonic heads of, looks like Satan and so forth. Pentagrams upside down hanging on the walls. Alice is kind of standing, looking down at these individuals who are knelt down before her. Their wrists split as they're bleeding into a copper tin or a goblet of sorts. You're unsure. Black lines kind of poured or pulled through a pasty, almost albino white paint that Alice seems to be wearing. She's dressed in a full Gothic style, as these individuals who are also dressed that way, kind of kneeling over. You see an album just kind of laying to the side. The name on it says Nox Navakla.
What does that mean to me in Latin?
You tell me.
I don't know. Look it up.
I have no idea what it means.
It means goblin. It means it's Latin. It's Latin for goblin
riot.
Goblin riot. Yeah.
Goblin riot. Yeah, there you go. Goblin riot. Sure. I don't know what the hell does that mean. God.
So we're walking together, Byron.
You're in the room. You just kind of wake up in the room.
And I'm standing.
Yeah, you're standing
before
over
this
them.
group,
Mhm.
and am I in command of them somehow?
You can see. It looks like you are. It looks like they're giving you their blood for some sort of ritual. There's a silver dagger curved with a variety of things inscribed on it. Roses, maybe? No, not roses. You're unsure. Some sort of plants. The handle is well worn. Worn from your hand.
It fits so perfectly into my palm.
It fits like OJ's glove. Snug.
Like, he gave unto them the blood, and he said, "Drink," and they did. Will you give of your blood? And I think he's looking at one of these sincere young people. Will you give willingly, so that you may live forever?
They look to Alice as if wanting her approval to respond to you.
I reach out and stroke their hair. And I just wait for their answer.
So you do it in a demeanor that seems like you're waiting for them to respond.
Encouraging, not like almost beatifically. I'm imagine I'm in a some sort of high right now with my own cult of blood worshippers and getting the blood of another of a mortal is kind of the pinnacle of the vampire experience, and I have all of these people who have voluntarily done this, which means that we have convinced them to do this. And so I'm practically levitating with power, perceived power. And so I'm going to, I'm the happiest I can possibly get, I think, in this moment. And so I'm going to almost beam at them if a goth can beam happily, and stroke their hair encouragingly and in a kind of benign way to encourage them to respond.
She kind of turns away from you after you stroke her hair, like encouragingly, and she crawls somewhere between seductively and like a cheetah across the shag carpet towards Father Lucius. Just as she does, a song comes on the music. The name of the song is Fanged Beast. As she crawls over and looks up at you almost longingly, like a small child looking to their parent almost.
So I think there's this moment where I reach out partially to coax her to me, like to bring her to safety in a way. And I take her hand ever so gingerly and I pull her close. It's all right, my child. Close your eyes and confess. And I drink.
Okay. As she presents her neck. Okay, you guys fill your feeds. Everyone can put themselves at 0 hunger.
Oh, what?
Even
we went to a
though
buffet.
You haven't killed anyone. But
Nice.
I would be amiss if I did not do our final scene here for a moment. Not the final scene of the night, but the final scene of this little entourage here. And that is Lady Catherine.
All right.
Lady Catherine, you look around the room. It's elegant furnishings, it's old world style. Heavy mahogany and oak and all of the woodwork around. Plush adornments and so forth in the room, along with the curtains which are drawn. No light showing through, of course, but no moonlight either. They're dark velvety fabric. Lush, dark purple, almost a blood red purple. Your foot kind of moves as you realize there's another person in the bed with you. Her naked body barely covered by the sheet. The thread count has to be easily 600 or 700. As you slide your way across the sheets, bottles of wine empty on a side table in a shiny crystal or shiny silver ice bucket. Her hair is kind of draped over her face. Can't really get a good look at her. You find yourself both totally naked in the bed together. No blood on the sheets or anything like that. You've obviously been careful. But this room seems much more your taste than that old subway hall. You glance down at a menu or a file, not really a file, but a leather covered thing. It says The Mad Hatter, Southwark, London. And you look around the room. What do you do?
I am going to reach over and like stroke down her spine to see if that will wake her, or also to see if she's still alive or if I slipped a little bit.
She's still breathing. She doesn't wrestle from, she kind of moves a little bit under you can feel her skin kind of go to like goosebumps almost as you trickle your finger down her back. She kind of moves a little way. You recognize the paleness in her skin. You definitely drank of her. Maybe too much.
Does she look like Angelique?
Yeah, she looks almost exactly like Angelique.
I want to reach up, like kind of like go up her arm, slide my hand up her arm, and see if she has any rings on either of her hands.
Okay.
If she does, I'm slipping one of those off and putting it on my own hand. Do I feel hungry?
No, you feel full. And actually, you'll be at 0 hunger also.
But I know I have I have work to do. But I'll pull up her hair so I can whisper in her ear, and I'll say it. My darling, this has been a wonderland, but I have things I need to do. But perhaps one more cup of tea for the road, and then I'll just like bury my face in her neck and kind of wake her up that way.
Okay.
And just have a little cup of tea.
She wakes to the ecstasy of your embrace. As you feel it, almost like cocaine in your system. That
Cocaine.
that seduction and love that led you here. That's what you need to feel. That and power, absolute power. And that's when you guys all get the text message from Brent.
God damn it!
It's like, hey guys, LOL.
Are we still hanging out tonight?
You know what? If I'm looking for power, I will just take the text and say, darling, I need to get this. I think it's your turn now. And then I'll just lie back and answer this text and just let her go to town.
Shit.
Bye.
Uno momento.
It's like, hold on.
Wow. Oh, pardon me, I also have to get some tea here. No.
I figured we'd start tonight off a little different.
Oh,
A little saucy there.
A little saucy.
Catherine.
I mean, you gotta feed the way you gotta feed. And at least I was expecting like to wake up in some creepy like squatters. I don't know. But I'm so happy that I am in elegant furnishings and velvet and sheets that are almost as silky as her skin. I mean, that is magnificent.
So the group text would say, we all need to get together and discuss our mutual business. Well, let's meet in 1 hour at the usual place.
I'll text.
Why does he always insist on going to Chipotle?
I'll say, that should give me plenty of time. Clam emoji.
It's a good thing that we're here at this traditional ethnic restaurant Discuss our
Yes, I love Mexican food.
Nice.
Oh, hey, wait, I'm sorry. I'm like in my brain. I need to do something.
All right. What do you guys do?
I'm presuming we're heading for the subway.
Yeah.
Is the meeting point. It's the only meeting point we have in common, even though we've decided to kind of disperse from there for safety reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You're
Could
talking
meet
about
anywhere.
the Nigel's abandoned tunnel.
yeah, Nigel's abandoned tunnel. It seems like it's a good place for us to meet up at the very least, and we can see if Nigel has returned for whatever reason.
Well, on the way out, I want to stop at the front desk and ask about the room that I was in.
Yes, ma'am. What can we do for you? Would you have put it in your actual name?
I'm wondering if I put it in my name or if she put it in hers. I mean, like, or if I got the room or if she got the room. Because I feel like I would have made her get the room. I mean,
Yeah.
but I will let them know that I would like to reserve their best room at this hotel. If that was not their best room, I want their best room at this hotel for the next 2 nights.
Yes, ma'am. As a kind of tall, thin bellhop with our front desk man. He's got black wire-rimmed glasses, and he says, "Would you like me to cancel your reservation for the room you have?"
Oh no, you can keep that as well. I wanted to get an extra room just in case in case I needed to have room for a few more.
Oh, very well. Do you want it sent to the same corporate account as the other room?
Absolutely. You're such a dear. Thank you so much.
A 10, man. He types on that thing over. He says, and he slides a little key card over to you. It's like actually made out of like dark walnut, and it has like a RFID chip in it.
Thank you so much, darling. I hope you'll be on duty later. Just in case I need any help with the room.
Yes, ma'am.
Right in my cleavage and head on out.
He's like, anything I can do for you, I'm at your service.
I thought you would be. Thank you. And then I head out the door.
Okay.
And I should text Hamish and let him know that I'm ready to head to the place.
So the Mad Hatter is a mere 1,000 feet from the southward tube station.
Okay, I can walk that. That'll be
So you're able to take that kind of across town a little bit over to Nigel's.
No, I'm not taking the subway.
Oh, you're not taking someone?
I'm not taking the.
Oh, you gotta call Hamish?
Yeah, Hamish will absolutely. He'll take me there. That'll be.
He'll pick you up. Takes him very little time to get over there.
Freaking Hamish,
Hey, a ghoul's got to do what a ghoul's got to do.
True enough. All right. How about Alice and Father Thorn? Are you getting over to Nigel's from where you are? It's not very far. A few blocks.
Yeah, so where are we? So as we emerge from... Are we emerging from what you just described, or was this a shared vision?
Yeah.
Or okay.
No,
okay.
It wasn't a vision. This is where you emerged from.
But without knowing why, right?
Without knowing how you got here.
So I think we step out and we look at the signs on the buildings, right? The street signs, because they're on the buildings. We hop an underground.
Yeah, it's kind of like a old, it's the backside of like an old music venue. There's punk posters and stuff all over the place. Alice, as you walk past, you realize that there are signs. There are signs written in the posters. Their poster that they have for their band has an occult symbol on it, and you see almost a trail that must have led you here.
We should not speak of this. Whatever has happened here, we should not discuss it with the others.
You're muted.
Muted, Tar.
Muted.
There you go.
Byron,
Yeah.
do these circumstances feel familiar? Like, do I have a sense that we have done this before? Like we are an act that has performed this before?
Not necessarily. You talk about you and Father Thorn together?
Yeah, we kind of played the worshippers off.
Not necessarily, but it does feel very natural. As long as they realize that you are their God and that he is their absolution, you guys should be fine.
Right. It feels like a really neat setup.
Mm-hmm.
So we hop the tube, and I'm embarrassed to have to ask you this. How did we? Do you remember? He's completely confused and struggling. Obviously, memory's a problem for all of us lately, but he's trying to ask you the question, obviously, but he just trips over it time and time again, and then just kind of frustrated, like stares out the window and watches the tiles fly by.
Alice doesn't remember, doesn't care. It is basically a dream come true for her. This was an effortless achievement of something that she thought would take a lot more work than it has. And so she's just gonna ride this high and not overthink it.
So what do you say back at picking through that? What's your response to Father Thorn?
I'm listening. I'm gonna go.
Make sure to mute your mic. We don't need to hear that, bro.
Everybody mute Byron.
Yeah.
Phrase your question again to me.
No, so he's. Do you remember? I'm trying to place how we came to be in that. And I think I see. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
As should you.
Should I? Is it your desire to be not in control of your own faculties? How did we come to be in that place?
I think we must have been in charge of our faculties at some point. Look at how control we were. Look at how in control we were of that room, of those people.
Were we in control, or were you being controlled? I don't remember getting there, Alice. I don't remember when last we were with the coterie.
I kind of wave off your concerns and in a way that says, I don't want to hear any more of this. You're kind of killing my buzz. And why can't you just enjoy it?
The sins of the flesh that this gift leads us to, Alice. We have to temper our indulgence of it. We have to control it, not let it control us. Don't you see?
What was out of control? They all lived?
Well, the fact that we arrived there. Do you remember leaving our friends? Do you? And I think we're on the fucking subway arguing. Do you remember leaving our friends?
There's not many people on the subway this time of night. It's pretty dead.
I know. I'm probably like splayed out in the chair, kind of
like one leg up.
I had a cigarette, and he's
Dr. Henry peeked out from
in front of me.
Down a little bit further from the subway. Oh, you're here. I'm just kidding. Not necessarily.
I expressed to you that I am Jason / Father. I think that it is just perfect that I let go, didn't try to control anything, and got what I wanted. And I think this is inspirational. This is as close to God as I have ever felt. And I don't mean like as close to God, like, I mean as close to capital HIM that I have ever felt, that I have just somehow been able to not be in control and still have everything go the way I would have wanted it to.
Such is the myopia of man, Alice. You lose control and it feels wonderful until one day you realize that you are being controlled. I'll leave you be with this.
Are you telling me you didn't enjoy that?
I woke, I don't enjoy not knowing how we got there. The fellowship I felt with you was delightful, and the release. But truly, this is not what we are here for.
It was one night.
So many things occurred in one night. I think he just stares out the window.
Shrug that off.
And Jesus said, "Don't be a vampire." He's. I swear I should have been a Baptist minister. That would have been funnier.
It takes maybe an hour or so, but slowly you guys begin to trickle into Nigel's station.
Wait, can I back up for a second? I'm
Sure.
sorry. What happened to my goblet of blood?
Whatever you want.
In your purse.
It's the big gulp.
Okay. Do I need to share that with you, or can it just be my own personal fantasy?
Your own personal Jesus.
I'm imagining that I drank and then in order to both bond with and antagonize Father Thorn, I would have had them each come up and take a sip from the cup in a ceremonial kind of way.
They will absolutely oblige.
That's what I would have done. Okay, thank you.
And they oblige with a calm familiarity, as if it's something they've always done or wanted to do.
Thank you.
As you lay back on the subway, a small bronze ring falls out of it clanks across the bottom of the subway floor.
Who?
Alice.
Okay.
Falls out of the pocket of your dress.
What was that? And I get up. Can I reach it?
Yeah. You kind of got to get down on your hands and knees and kind of shuffle it out from underneath. But yes, you do. I'm not sure what to do with it.
I get the ring.
Right. As you pull it out, it's battered. It's old. So. Let's see.
I would assume that Father Thorn sitting next to her would see her kind of reaching down and picking that up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to openly show it to you.
What have you found? What is this? You said
There's
there's no
my
one
pocket.
around? There's no one around?
As you pick it up, I mean, there's like maybe one or two people on a train. not much. You kind of.
We're
find
speaking
your
very
way.
generically here.
Yeah. So, as you look at it, Alice, give me an intelligence plus occult.
Oh, Lordy. God damn it. In another 2 years, I'll figure out how to use this damn software.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you, man.
Last night, Tara's like, our first roll, she's like, I hate this so much. I'm like, oh, shit,
What's my difficulty, Byron?
Oh,
What's that for?
4.
Thank you very much.
Oh. So you can
You take
spend
some willpower.
a point of willpower damage to reroll 3 of those regular dice, but you're gonna need to get 2 sets of criticals in order to push it.
I can't do that.
All right. So this
What do
is
you mean 2 sets of criticals?
because you need to get 4 successes for it not to be a bestial failure. You can't reroll the hunger.
She has
So-
3 dice to reroll.
Yeah, you can only get 3 successes on 3 dice.
Yes, she has 3.
She needs to get 4.
already. She already has 3. She needs one of those. to
No
be a
success. She's 0 successes.
What? You been looking at the right occult and intelligence one?
Oh no, that's insight and wits. Hold on, what?
You're looking at the wrong thing, you
Oh,
goof.
it didn't. My thing was all the way down at the bottom. Oh, my bad.
Tara's like,
My bad.
you big
My
dummy.
bad.
You
I'm
big dumb
confused.
GM.
That was your other bestial failure. That's what that was. That I was looking at your insight wits one that you had. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. So yeah, you could spend a point of willpower to re-roll 3 of those dice.
Okay.
You could just click re-roll if you want. We already know you got 3 successes there, and then just only roll like I guess I don't know.
Where's reroll?
So you could click dice and just click 3d10. Go to the D.
Yeah, you could do that.
Click the die. D10, roll 3 of them. Take a point of damage. And you need 6s and above. So use regular dice.
Roll
Awesome.
3d10.
Yeah, just roll 3d10.
None of those are successes.
Nope.
Well, that sucks.
So it feels familiar to you. It feels like it belongs to you, and it feels like a protection charm of some sort. But you can't make out exactly what.
Alice, are you all right? What is that? What have you found?
I feel it's a ring. It was in my pocket. I don't remember it, but and I show it to him. But it feels
What
it feels like it's mine.
What style of ring is it?
It's an older Victorian.
like a wedding band, like a stone, like what?
Just a decorative Victorian style ring.
Oh, it is quite. It's quite
Made of
pretty.
bronze.
It's not my ring, is it?
Should
This is in far too shabby a shape for you, Lady Cat.
I'm just saying. So.
should be much more careful with your heirlooms and not drop them.
Are we all together?
No, we're still on the subway. Do
You're on
you
your way.
do you recognize this?
I've not seen this ring before. Well, Byron, tell me. How about
You could give me an intelligence. Let's do it.
Insight?
Intelligence and
Yeah.
occult? Getting the
Yeah,
same-
intelligence and cult or insight.
occult or
and-
insight? Let's see. Can I pick?
Yeah.
Can I pick?
Yeah, I'll let you pick.
You're
All
part
right.
of the biggest cult in history.
All right. So I'm gonna do.
You're part of the biggest cult in history.
Hang on. So shit.
Factual.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So let's do occult.
Should be
Second
good with it.
attribute, we'll do intelligence, and we will. What's my target?
3.
Say it again. I didn't hear you say
3.
2. I didn't hear you say 2 correctly.
And here you say. You broke up.
Boom! Yeah, I succeeded at something.
Yeah, you did. You made it. Finally.
Barely.
Finally. After all this time.
That'd have been a really good beast of feather.
So she used to wear it.
Oh, it belongs on this finger, Alice. Look, and I take it from her and slide it on her finger.
And as he slides it on your finger, the finger that he put it on, you kind of get the feeling and you remember, it's your spell ward. And that's why you were doing the ritual last night. To ward yourself before you guys went down into the deeper part of the subway in the underground.
Okay. Oh, I do remember. I do remember this is my spell ward, and that was the ritual we were doing. We were doing a warding ritual.
We were? It's like suddenly like, oh shit, what have I done?
So out of me spills a bunch of words that he would understand if he had any memory of our existence prior to this incident in life. And I surprised myself by being able to remember a little bit. And I know that he knows, or would know if he could remember, what I'm talking about.
Just complete.
Okay, so you know I can do these spells, right? These rituals?
Yeah, yes, of course. Yes, your miracles,
right,
as it were.
Miracles. That's what we were doing one of these rituals. So I was doing a ward of protection on myself, just on myself, or is this Byron? Is this over him too?
Just over you.
Just over myself. As we prepare to investigate further what's going on. So
for what? What we were performing a ritual to protect you from what?
From whatever forces may be out to get us, and there clearly will be some forces out to get us.
At some level, I think Father Thorn, this is the unspoken, right? But I think he's quite convinced that Alice bewitched him. and no, seriously, and that she knows something more, because what the hell? Why ritual? Where are my friends? Like all this stuff. He pats her on the hand in a fatherly way and kind of squeezes to emphasize this point. Well, I'm truly glad you found your ward. Hopefully it serves us well. And I smile. With that, the devil's in this eye.
Even though I could kick your ass, I slide my hand out awkwardly from yours.
No, yeah, he does that. Like his hands are so, even though he's dead and stuff, they're all clammy and weird. Like, yeah.
It's like hard to pull your hand away. He kind of holds on.
I'm so much younger. My physical, my mortal me is so much younger than him. It's starting to feel a little creepy.
It's like how Father Lucius tends to make these decisions and be like, oh no, the woman bewitched me, the woman dominated me. He doesn't really take any any accountability upon himself.
Wow. I mean,
oh, you're onto him. You're onto him.
He definitely should take stock of his own weakness.
You keep saying we should be better, and I'm like,
his confessions for a while.
Could be better, Father Lucius.
Father Lucius, hypocritical as always.
Back at it again.
And you, good doctor, hypocritical as always.
Oh.
That's very well done.
Nice. I wonder why people get the impression that we don't like each other.
Yeah, no doubt, right? All right, you guys find yourself trickling your way into Nigel's tunnel.
So when you see me, because I would most certainly be the first person there, you could tell I'm disheveled, like I had a rough night. My normally kind of like not pristine suit. My normally at least fairly well kept suit looks rumpled, like I was having a hard time of it the previous evening. My hair is messy. I even stink a little bit as you approach. I wait for everyone to arrive before I kind of mention that. Did you have any anomalies last evening? Any of you?
Well, my arrival, I look the opposite of you. I probably look the most put together and happy that I have appeared since we were awakened.
Mm.
I'm assuming you're still wearing, so your face is like almost a white, pasty white makeup with like some fingerprints, like in black, kind of like drawn down, like almost like tears on your face. So yeah, she's wearing some sort of like goth makeup and a black lace.
I would disagree that I'm the most put together in like a dress shirt and slacks and dress shoes.
Aquila looks like he just got out of like
Lecture.
Taylor.
Like he was lecturing on something.
Like he was lecturing, yeah.
I would say that I look the most put together. Because I look like I have just gotten out of like a warm bath and just look magnificent. But also that kind of like,
But also humble.
also very humble. Yes, I was thinking about this, like, that beautiful, I'm here for brunch and we just had a meal before. That
We
sort of
can
glory.
all tell what you did last night.
Oh, yeah.
She filmed a Calgon commercial last night.
Dr. Henry would look at each of you and say, anything at all?
I lean in. They'll hear me, but I remember little, save for when I woke up. You have lost memories as well. We were bewitched.
I feel like I lost control of things. I remember I was frustrated because I was looking for a night position at a hospital and I was not able to arrange a night interview. I'll have to come up with something else while I'm waiting for my medical, to get my medical license back so I can practice again.
They'll just reactivate it.
You can just buy one somewhere.
However,
It's only been expired for 80 years.
You could just email your Zen and they'll restamp it.
They'll email it back in. It's like I decided to go ahead and offer an addict a taste of his favorite medicine, and I remember very little afterwards. Well, nothing afterwards. I woke up in an abandoned flat with 3 dead bodies and him exsanguinated, hanging upside down. Well, it was obviously my doing because I could tell by the precision.
What did you do with the bodies?
Oh, I just left them there. They're addicts. No one will miss them. However, I found it off-putting that I don't remember the rest of the evening or how I got there. Or
Could we make like an insight or something like that? I'm trying to think of something, or like to check if we had been dominated or something like that. I don't know what that could be, if that's even possible.
I don't know that that's even possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could I do insight and intelligence based off of my knowledge of the domination power, or if there's something like that? Obviously, there could.
You would assume that there could be something.
I would
that
assume
powerful.
that.
Yeah. I mean, the ritual that was done to put you all in torpor was pretty powerful.
Of course,
You guys have definitely had access to powerful magics.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we had. After all, we had grown somewhat tired of each other, and we needed to go about our own hunting grounds for a time. And however, I find it odd that everyone has a blank spot.
Until we are sure what's happened. The mystery that is in front of us is obviously one that we've not yet solved. We should, dare I say, have a buddy. He barfs out the word buddy system.
Who do you want to be, Father?
That's logical.
Well, I think that probably it would be best if I looked after Lady Catherine to ensure that she does not misbehave.
No, I immediately
you should
walk
watch
over
me misbehave.
next to Aquila.
Yes, Father.
I'm like, you and I should stick together. We're the most logical.
Okay.
Can I take a look through my
Alice gets stuck with.
Alice, you can come with us too if you'd like. Alice and Mag.
You gotta pick last for kickball. How does it feel?
Oh.
I'll stay by myself. I don't care.
Now, can I take a look through my possessions or on myself to see if there's anything different, or if maybe anything had been planted on it, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because I have my new ring, of course, but I have my old ring, but wait.
That's a good point. I'll take stock of my medical bag and any possessions on my person and see if there was something added, taken away.
Would that be something like awareness plus?
Sure. I mean, you guys are pretty intelligent. You've been what stuff you have and what you haven't had and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, and none of the objects seem like they were planted on you. There is things like Alice has the tin / goblet that she collected the blood in. That's kind of new. Dr. Henry has, some tools and stuff like that feel very comfortable. You were going to go through your old tools and stuff before, so nothing that feels like maybe it just didn't come out of the bag where it already was. And Lady Catherine, nothing that you can think of. Aquila, you had collected some of the books from those individuals. They were books on occult and on antiquities and so forth, Egyptian antiquities that they had in the subway down there. But it all feels very familiar to you. It doesn't feel like something that unfamiliar, and you don't get the idea that something is making you feel familiar with it other than your own true familiarity.
Maybe we're finally just waking up. No longer having to survive.
That's the way I would kind of explain it. A level of clarity maybe that you haven't had.
That, to a degree, it makes sense. We would be reverting back to our
habits, what we did before years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But why are we losing more memories than we are gaining?
Have this seal to actually look at now that we're all together again.
That makes sense.
We could do some ritual with this seal. I don't know if me and Alice could come up with something to help garner more of our memories, or how this works.
Well, we have our lead on the next item.
Piece, yes, the dagger, I believe.
Alice had the good sense. Alice had the good sense to perform a ritual to ward against something. Perhaps. Is there more you could do? Is there more you could do to protect us from outside influence?
Do I have the dagger?
No. You can have the dagger if you wanted to. If you wanted to collect it from the place. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt like mine.
Yeah, it did. It fit into your hand almost better than your own skin fits on it.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Means I've used it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Tyler, when, it just fits in your own hand, it feels better. You know what that's like.
No idea. Not a clue.
What does this dagger that we're looking for look like?
That's a good question. See if I can find a picture of it.
I mean, as you're looking for that, didn't Richard the word, he's given Father Lucius what he wants. What if he's giving us what we want to lull us into a sense of security so that we won't go after him, or that he can keep tabs on us, or that he can control us in this fashion?
Well, there's always the possibility of the long game in everything we do. And every attempt any of us has ever made to rise above that, we are still inextricably tied to kindred culture.
How many minds have we how many illusions have we cast upon those trying to see the truth in us? Are we not just puppets at this point? We are seeking the truth behind Mithras' demise, and here now we are circling and chasing our own tails, trying to determine where we were this very night. There's something amiss here, and I think Alice should, as much as I hate to say it, her sorcery perhaps could help us.
I think you need to take a deep breath, Father.
Yeah.
I don't even need to breathe anymore, Aquila. I think he takes a little Jeez-it. He's like...
So Aquila, while Father Thorn says that, you kind of get the feeling that that's kind of what Alice's role in the coterie was the ritual leader.
Could see that, yeah. Is there anything in the books that you brought back that we found in the safe? Anything in what you had written before?
Fantastic question.
We didn't really take time to explore that.
Maybe we should.
Perhaps it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that we have a growing insight as to our group's dynamics.
Oh, I have some understanding of the occult as well, although I don't practice your blood sorcery. We can cooperate with each other, see, split the difference for those who are knowledgeable about the occult, and then simply compare our nodes and go from there.
If we don't want to do this down here, I have made a reservation for a suite at a nice hotel, a very nice hotel, the Mad Hatter. So if we want to get out of this underground and go someplace a little more upscale and anonymous,
Slip into something more comfortable, you say?
Exactly.
These slacks are perfectly comfortable.
That would be agreeable.
Khakis.
My situation last evening was not my preference. So some creature comforts would be appreciated. And not to mention, I believe this subway is compromised anyway. We probably should not return here.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear a scrambling noise as the door opens up, and Nigel, kind of in his lumbering, leapy drag, kind of makes his way into the tunnel. He says, "Hi, I see you return."
Where have you been?
Busy. The task you gave me to find an entrance to the underground to find Richard.
Well done, Nigel.
Please tell us more.
I am, as I told you before, an outcast in Richard's eyes. It's very difficult to me to find things that he has thwarted. But I believe I have found an area where you should be able to descend into the depths of his territory.
Could I do an insight on him to see if he is
Sure.
like, behaving
Being
of his own volition?
truthful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether
Yeah,
he's
you
being sneaky.
Like an
snick a
insight
snack.
plus detect lies, or
Yeah, that sounds good.
Intelligence.
Intelligence,
and
or
insight.
it's more wits than intelligence.
okay.
Difficulty.
2? Oh wait,
Difficulties. Yeah, 2. Oh yeah. Look at a Kiva rolling over here. Like score, baby.
Look at you, baby.
Could have only been better if one die was a critical.
It could have been if all the dice were criticals.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But still, that's
I would have just quit if that was.
But it was still a pretty good roll.
If you rolled 6 dice and rolled all criticals, I would just.
It wouldn't be unbelievable.
Game's
You're like,
over.
I give up.
I've done it before.
Game's over.
Mhm.
All right, yeah, he does not seem to be misleading you in any way,
Okay.
shape, or form, or controlled. He seems to have his normal demeanors,
Okay.
only a little bit more loyal,
Hmm.
you would call it. Before he
He's
just seemed
behaving like,
helpful. Now he feels like a sense of loyalty to you all.
he's behaving like a good dog.
He's the Nosferatu, right, Nigel?
Yeah.
Wow.
Had a rough time of it.
No, Nigel, darling, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. Is Max with you?
No, I have not seen him. He went off to do something. I'm unsure. He said he would be safe. Not to worry about him.
We shall do no such thing.
So do we want to take? Well, I feel like we should take time to look at the books and see if there's anything else that could help us before we just like go helter skelter down to this entrance. Or
He says, I must warn you, the depths of the underground will be deep enough that you may not be able to return to the surface within the one night.
Well, it is dark down there, yes?
His areas are mostly kept unlit. There are denizens of all sorts, those mundane, those from the upper city, and those under his control. But be warned, he has the ability to do blood magic, and he can cast large wards over greater parts of the city at once.
Well, we have
He's
our
had-
own blood
He's had
magician.
decades. He's had decades to fortify himself in the underground.
Well, we have all the weapons that we could manage to get from our queen. So if sorcery is not going to work, then perhaps a more mundane approach will work, such as buckshot.
You're channeling Tesla.
Yeah. It would be a solution. Yes.
Nigel, do you believe that he can be reasoned with? I know that you have your own bias against him and hatred towards him.
Only if your reason gives him.
I see.
He scrambles over and he's digging around in a box underneath his desk, and he says, buckshots will not do much, but these may help. And he hands you a small box of shells.
I take a look at them. What did they say?
They say dragon's breath.
Oh, I of course ask him. I'm like, dragon's breath.
Yes.
Can't
As
say
if from the
anything.
great beast, the worm, shall spit it out. Fire. Just don't be in its blast radius, or it will not be able to tell friend or foe.
I must confess, I've grown to like you, Nigel. You're a
I
capitalist.
have that effect on people. He kind of smiles.
Nigel, would you be coming with us or no?
Do we have a gun for those shells?
I,
Hey, you have a shotgun.
Gotta use
Gotta
them as a
throw 'em.
something. You gotta go
was gonna
for
say,
those. Just looking pretty.
we actually got a lot of weapons to kill what's his face. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whole
yeah, we
crate of-
did. Yeah, I'll take a couple of those dragon's breath shells.
He says, be wary though. It is illegal to carry a firearm in London. If the police see you, you will immediately be suspected doing things. in the
It's
shadows.
only illegal if you get caught.
It's only illegal if they remember it.
Well, that too.
The station that I am referring to is currently under renovations. It is guarded at night. The work crews sometimes work overnight. The convenience store and also what did I just what's that? Only a convenience store and yeah, a convenience store and something else. A flower shop.
Yeah.
However, we don't work on Fridays. So, Friday evening, the workers will not be present. But the guards will be fewer. Only 2 policemen, probably.
What day is today?
Thursday.
Gives us time to do more research into these underground areas.
Because many of the stations and such that he almost says master, but then he stops himself. He says the stations and stuff are, you will not find them on any maps. They are long been eroded from view.
Do you have them
However-
on the computer thing?
No,
Draw them out.
I cannot draw them. I'm afraid first-hand knowledge is the only way.
Understood.
His powers of shadow and deception are great. Great enough that even I cannot find them. I tracked one of his ghouls. I saw them enter the station. That is how I knew. That is where it was.
You are very resourceful, Nigel.
As you asked me to be, my lovely mistress.
Sounds like we have a night to prepare.
Yep.
We'll head down.
I suppose we should divide and conquer. What resources do you all imagine we may need to be able to manage this? We have the firepower.
whatever wards we can manage, perhaps, and a supply of, well, I know it won't be your preference, I suppose, but we will need to feed. We can't be lost in our hunger down beneath.
Well, on the night of, we can arrange. We have no reason to be picky. We should make it quick. Gather vitae this evening.
Nigel says, you will most likely have to feed down there. You will be down there for more than just one night. You will probably find yourself sleeping down there.
The good news is I carry some ramen with me. Here it is.
All right, you better take some extras then. There you go.
Well, I'm sure we can make do.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get any body armor, did we, Byron? I'm assuming not.
It's God's old vampiric flesh he gave you.
Yep. I don't think my character would even.
Do you have the discipline of fortitude?
Yes.
If somebody has it.
And that's as close as you're getting to body armor.
Right.
Here's a procedural question. I guess a rules question. So
Yeah.
my clan disciplines are it's fortitude, presence, and something else. I forget offhand. But do we automatically get those, or do we have to take a point in them?
Those are ones that you have access to without requiring you to drink from another vampire that has a discipline.
So if so I could just say like, hey, I have fortitude, and I could take this fortitude discipline power or whatever it's called.
Yep. And if there's if there's one of those three that you don't have any dots and you don't have, it's just getting a new dot in it. There's no requirement. But like, let's say you wanted, for instance, Oblivion, and you don't, that's not one of your clan discipline powers, then you would have to drink from a vampire that has Oblivion in order to attempt to get that power.
Okay. Because I don't think I have any dots in fortitude, but I want to take unswayable mind. And so would I need a dot in fortitude first and then get...
No.
When
You spend your first dot, and that will get you unswayable.
And it'll get you any powers that only have one dot.
Okay.
So you can't have a power that is more dots than the number of dots that you have.
Okay.
And for every dot that you have at least one power.
All right.
Yeah. Were you asking if you could get if you got all the powers under that dot?
Yeah, like does it just automatically? Well, I was thinking like, do they just automatically come? Like, this is my clan, these are my disciplines, boom. Or do I have to?
You got to buy them piecemeal.
Okay.
You got to buy each individual power.
Right, but when you buy your first dot of fortitude, you get a one dot power of your choice.
Right.
Okay. So I'm
Gotta keep
officially buying a dot of fortitude, but I'm getting unswayable mind with it.
Right.
Okay.
And then when you bought a second dot of fortitude, you could either take another level 1 power, or you could get a level 2 power at that point because you have 2 dots.
Okay.
All right. What are you guys doing?
Question. Well, I suppose the first thing is to go through all these documents and see if there whatever useful information we can find for this evening. Any intel. So, like, Dr. Henry would spend his time doing that, and basically, if he needs help with the occult stuff, he'd probably talk to Aquila or Alice for it.
I would probably just help him.
Yeah, basically, we'll double team it.
Yeah.
We don't need those women helping us.
I would say that we should take all of this and leave Nigel's place. So that way, even just being out of the underground completely might give us a route out of Richard's domain, so that way we can prepare kind of in a more neutral location.
I agree. Also,
And then I think I would pretty much aid anybody. Like I'll read things, or I guess help in any way I can.
I'd wonder, Byron, is there an opportunity for me to exploit my hospital contact at all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In terms of...
Sure. I mean, you have...
Because he sort of tried to,
Jane Barnes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in some ways, we're crossing streams here because he's aware of us. And I think I would have shared this with them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You guys did. You shared it.
I think I would bring. I don't know that I would have shared a great amount of detail, but yeah, because it's a little embarrassing how that played out. But yeah, I would perhaps just delving into the darkness is not all the options we have. We do know some who know him. Could perhaps tell us of more creative ways. I suppose Nigel is credible enough, but Lady Catherine, perhaps your charms.
You could assume, Father Thorn, that the powers of the blood bond and so forth difficult to overcome. That Richard's generation is low enough that anyone blood bound to him would be very difficult to overcome. To the point that it would take time for them to be away from him to break the bond. And that because he's like Mithras' spy master, like a double agent,
he's
would be
probably
something
expecting this to some degree.
He'd be
right?
prepping a double agent, especially if he was going to dangle it in front of you.
Yeah.
Like a carrot. He'd be protected against that.
Or do we like kind of talk to your hospital person and then try to follow them back somehow? I don't know.
You would have got the idea, Father Thorn, that she doesn't go into the underground. She's more an up here thing. So following her back, she's not gonna go into the underground.
She's from around the block. She does not spend much time down in the darkness. Yeah, I was. I had hoped we'd find an inside scoop there, but I guess not.
No, I mean, he's more powerful than we are. He knows we are going to try to move on him. He knows that he has something that we want.
There's no reason for the king to leave his castle.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So, yes, we just prepare as best we can with light and other supports, and like that we get as much basic equipment as we can. He'll have the advantage in light, in dark. Even with some of us having enhanced senses, not all of us do. So we make sure that we have a lot of light, if need be. Even if we can't do it immediately, even if we don't have it going all the time, we should have a lot of light.
Niles was like, I did gather some supplies I thought you could possibly use. And he's like, I unfortunately can not carry them all down. They're up there still.
We appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I'll go get some of them with him.
Yeah, he's got some he's got like a shopping cart kind of on this. It's kind of hid behind a bush right by the entrance down there. And it's full of like camping gear and stuff like that, like LED lights and
yes, we can get some more stuff like this.
Things like that. And some packs. He's like, it is not too far off from climbing a mountain. only in reverse. The descent will try more than just your patience and your wits.
Well, unless Lady Alice can come up with a way to defend us, we're just going to have to weather the storm as far as these wards are concerned.
Tell us about your ring. It will protect just you. Is there a way to imbue objects of ours with similar magic?
As I understand it, the ring is just a tool to execute the ritual. It's not is the ring a ward itself, Byron?
The ring is a ward itself. But if anyone else was to slip on that ring, it would ward them also.
Does it have a ring?
It would ward them instead of you, I should say.
I see. So
it could be loaned.
Wearing.
It could be loaned. Yeah.
Yo, let me borrow that ring.
Let me get that ring, girl.
Why don't you just trust in God, Father Thorn?
Oh, but I do trust in God. I was thinking more that the good doctor can wear it, as science has failed him thus far.
I mean,
I think if this is something that we are, an expedition, we need the appropriate attire for it as well. Which means we need to be looking into, adventure gear and expedition wear, if you will. And so I guess the modern equivalent of the pith helmets and the khakis and that sort of thing.
Dress up like Indiana Jones.
Good footwear and the basics, good footwear and so forth.
Exactly.
No.
These heels should not go down into the sewers.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good thing.
Your ankle, it will not be easy to run if you have to.
No, you could, but then, they would just be ruined in the muck. You don't want to do that. And, the designer dresses do not go down there either. So we'll find some appropriate costuming. I'm just saying appropriate costuming. That's all.
Hey, Nigel, types on his computer a few things. He goes, "You could order from here and I could pick them up tomorrow."
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you. Type in, get sizes for people and this and that. And
yeah, you pretty much there's a Columbia outerwear or whatever. You can pretty much.
Oh, yeah, we're going to look like the newest tourists around.
Yeah.
There's he even shows you a tactical website where you can order EMT uniforms and stuff like that, or police military style wear.
Okay. Yeah. So, yes, boys, what do we want? What do we want, folks?
I'll start picking out things that look like they're useful, like shotgun shell carriers and shit. I don't know.
Well, you're not gonna find a shotgun shell carrier because.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one that's actually ever been exploring, so I'll help everyone pick out some of the correct gear.
There we go.
Wonderful.
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would have a very good idea of what type of stuff you want to look at, Aquila, from going into the the tombs and stuff like that. Type of gear you'd want to wear.
Yes. Old temples and the like.
Yeah.
So a big flowy goth black dress is not gonna.
I think you should get a white one.
But those boots will be perfect.
Boots, though.
The boots are great. Keep those. Throw on a pair of jeans. You're fine.
I'm gonna grab a pair of men's extra small camo fatigues.
Me too.
You know, extra small.
Schmedium.
Me 3.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna and I'm gonna cuff them at the ankles and tuck them into the boots, and if there are any like bandanas, whatever color they have, preferably black or
You can pretty much find whatever you want.
some sand camo for contrast, whatever. And the khaki cargo pants are going to be like the extra durable, multi-layered kind, abrasion resistant, and they're going to have 15,000 pockets, so that I can keep my book in there and whatever else,
Yeah.
little tools of the trade, a flashlight, extra batteries, my phone. Yeah, whatever.
Absolutely. Hope you can definitely find all that stuff.
Whereas I've got motorcycle leathers, like the leather pants, leather jacket with the, the elbows, jaunty little scarf. Those nice big motorcycle boots.
I'd like to think I look very much like Indiana Jones, like somebody said earlier.
Yeah, 100%. I think I've got to have.
Did you get his hat? Did you get his hat? Okay.
So the real question is, do you get
Covers up your eye.
do you have the whip? That's the real question.
It's action.
I have it.
Sorry, sorry about that, Jason. I didn't want to talk.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Totally fine. Off of like Temu or whatever. Like.
It's like actually one size too small, so it's like a belly shirt.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I think the father is dressed in his typical attire, but he's going to carry an extra supply of blood, because as a bagger he's got that, and they'll thank him later. He's got his box of croutons of Christ. He's got I think that's about it. He's going to go down, and he's not going in like, oh, they're all decked out. I think he shows up in the room and he looks them over and he's like, I'm underprepared. I should get on the internet and order some extra small. I do think he has he gets some shoes from like a donation pile at the church. He finds a nice pair of athletic shoes that fit him better than his dress shoes. And he looks like a total poser otherwise.
All right, go on. And he goes over and he's rambling through some bags and such. And he finds this like old bag that's kind of has a bunch of like leather pieces and plastic and all kinds of stuff shoved into it, and he goes, yes, this will do. And he pulls like this leather hat out, and it kind of looks like a Solomon Kane hat. It's got like a Warhammer Inquisitorial seal on it. It's like a cosplay hat. He's like, yes, you remind me of the old Solomon Kane.
I think I wipe the saliva off of his face with my hanky as I straighten my hat. Indeed, I shall honor this. Thank you.
What about Dr. Bancher?
Well, so I'll probably go mostly tactical. I'm gonna bring I'm gonna have a pistol, the shotgun, some of the Dragon's Breath rounds, some normal slugs, because I figure slugs would actually hurt a vampire more than buckshot. Beyond that, I always keep a scalpel on me at a bare minimum, and I always keep a couple syringes of the good stuff, some morphine, just in case I have an opportunity to make someone go Betty by down there. Just force
Jack the Ripper bag.
Yeah, basically. I do begrudgingly leave behind most of my normal medical tools because they're not going to come into effect here. You know, so I leave them in the fancy hotel. Definitely not excited to do that though, because they're almost a part of me, frankly. But I understand that they'll have very little use for the dirty business that we're about to attend to.
Got it. Okay.
Which is different than the dirty business that we do when we go out with Lady Catherine. It's completely different.
It's a whole
different dirty business.
Well, I mean, what I do is beautiful. I relieve the downtrodden from their misery.
All right.
I was enlightened of you.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before moving forward to basically approaching and checking out like the underground?
I want to talk to the front desk and make sure that we have this room for a week, so that way we can leave anything here that we want, and no one will bother it. Especially since we're going to be down there for several nights. Mm-hmm. And I want to take a look at the seal just briefly before we go, just in case. I don't remember if we really looked at it much, and so
no, we hadn't.
Yeah, so we need to look at the seal. We need to look at the book, your books, if we haven't done it already. We got all pretty. Now we should actually.
Yeah, the seal is definitely old. It's definitely was used like for rituals and stuff like that, and signing documents, stealing documents, making wax seals that then maybe would have broken in some sort of occult rituals and stuff. Alice has a pretty good familiarity with the use of it for that purposes.
Is it something that we should bring along with us, do you think, Alice, or is this something that we should keep hidden if we can?
That's kind of up to you guys. And you feel like, you know, how you go about it.
What is is there a name for the shield?
No, it's just a seal. It's just a seal.
Yeah.
It's like a wax seal, right? Like a stamper.
Yeah, like a wax stamper.
This.
And I'm sorry, I didn't ever say something to her, but you had asked about what the dagger looks like that you're trying to retrieve.
Oh yeah.
It's like an ivory type handle and like a Roman style dagger. Old.
Let's go ahead and bring the seal with us. I have lots of extra pockets that are unused.
Okay.
And it's small enough.
We should keep it close
We
to
will.
us regardless.
We will note that the seal will be in Alice's pockets,
Along with
unless you say otherwise.
it'll be in one of my pockets and along with an incendiary device and some wax.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Is there anything else that would be required to use the seal?
No, not really. You could probably imbue it with, just channeling your own energies. Obviously, it would be more useful in Mithras' hands to steal, but shy of that, you would probably be one of the people that would have used it.
Where is that guy? Man, that Mithras.
That Mithras guy.
Just.
Man, do I miss Mithras?
I'm so miserable without him.
Mithras. Shut up.
Where is he?
All right.
Mystery.
All right, anybody else got anything that they want to look for?
That's it.
Nothing special beyond what I usually carry.
Probably during our in-between time, I'll be like, oh man, I really should have thought of that.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's gonna happen.
Well, I'll kind of give you a little leeway if it's something that you would have thought of. I'll give you some leeway if you know what I mean.
How about you give us some leeway for shit that we don't really know how it works?
That's what I mean. I will. Yeah, as long as it's like not designed to not, be that way
Okay.
in the game, then that's all.
I can make an excuse for anything.
You could try.
Tyler, be
You
like,
certainly
"Well,
may
see."
try.
Yes.
All right, well, then this is a good place to wrap up for tonight. It is until 11. Thanks, guys, for joining us. If you're liking this game, please like and subscribe. Helps with that YouTube algorithm thing.
Do something about it.